So, hello friends, today we are going to study English chapter 1, The Crow and the Deer. So, let's start. This is our chapter summary. In a calm and serene forest, there existed a delightful friendship between a wise crow and a gentle deer. Their Their companionship was as enduring as the ancient trees that surrounded them. However, amidst this harmonious duo, a cunning and relentless fox harbored a sinister desire to savor the plump and healthy deer as his delectable lunch. To achieve this sinister goal, the fox hatched a crafty plan to knock down their trust. This is the timeless story of the from the Hitopadesa where friendship is tested. Defeat lurks in the shadows, and the bond between the crow and the deer put to the ultimate tests. Next is 1.1 section 1. In Magad Desh there was a vast forest known by the name Champakwati. In the forest there lived a crow and the deer together. Once a jackal saw the healthy, fleshy and plumpy deer roaming freely in the forest. Tempted to have the deer for his meal, uh, the jackal thought of winning his confidence first. With with this idea, he went to the deer and said, "Dear friend, how are you?" The deer questioned in response as well, "Who are you?" The jackal replied, "I am a jackal named Shudra Budhi, all alone, without without any friend. I have spent my days in this forest, like an inanimate inanimate object, inanimate object. But now, having found a friend in you, I am revived to life, and wish to serve you in all possible ways." The deer said, "So be it." Thereafter, at sunset, they both went to the deer's residence, close to the place on the branch of a champak tree. There lived a crow called Subudhi, who was an old friend of the deer. Seeing them, both the crow said, "Dear friend, Chitrang, who is the other one accompanying you?" The deer said, "It's a jackal who wants our friendship." The crow said, "Dear friend, it is not wise to have friendship with a stranger appearing all of the sudden from now here. As has been said, don't shelter the one. You are unfamiliar with those family and characters. As the crime of a cunning cat caused the death of an innocent old vulture. Let us understand 1.1. In 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 Magad Desh, there was a vast forest called Champakvati, where a crow named Subudhi and a deer named Chitrang lived in a close friendship. One day, a jackal named Shudra Budhi spotted the plump deer and wanted to make him his meal to gain the deer's trust. The jackal approached him to express a desire for friendship, claiming to have been lonely. The deer, Chitrang, agreed to be the to be friends with the jackal, and they gone to the deer's residence together. The Subudhi, the crow who warned Chitrang about the dangers of forming a friendship with a stranger who suddenly who, who suddenly appeared. The crow cited an example of a cunning cat caused the death of an innocent old old vulture due to misplaced trust. Section 2 1.2. At this, the deer and the jackal questioned with curiosity. How does the tale go about? The crow told the tale, which goes the following way: the tale of an innocent old vulture and a cunning cat. Next, on the bank of the mm, Ganges, there was a high hilly peak called Gridha Kuta, on which there was a giant fig tree. It in its hollow there dwelt a vulture named Charagiv, who by some misfortune had lost his eyes and talons. Taking pity of him, the other birds who were living on the same tree used to give him small shares from their meals for his survival. Once it happened that the cat named Dirghakarna reached there with the intention of eating the nestlings. Seeing the cat, the nestlings got scared and started creating clamor. Hearing the clamor, the vulture demanded, "Who is coming here?" The moment the cat saw the vulture, he, he got horrified and said to himself, "Alas, it seems my life is over now, but one should ever fear the fear till it is not near. Once near, one should prudently face the fear. Since it is impossible to flee from the vulture now, let things to take their own course. I will approach him and try to win his confidence by all means." With this thought, he went closer to the vulture and said, "Dear sir, I salute you." The vulture asked, "Who are you?" The cat answered, "I am a cat." The vulture halted at him. "Get lost, else I will kill you." The cat requested, "Please listen to me first, and then kill me if you if you if you find me killing worth worth. Does one deserve killing or welcoming merely on the basis of race?" Doesn't the conduct of the person also claim a significant place? Let us understand 1.2. The crow, responding to the curiosity of the deer and jackal, shares a story about an innocent old vulture and a cunning cat. This takes place near the Ganges River on a hilly peak with a giant fig tree. The vul- the vul- vulture and Jadgir had lost his eyes and talons, and relied on the other birds for small shares of their meals. One day, a cat named Dirka Karna arrived with the intention of eating the vulture's nestlings. He, he decided to approach the vulture and gain his confidence. He introduced himself to the vulture, who initially threatened to kill him. However, the cat made a plea of his life. He questioned where one should be judged solely based on their race, and suggesting that one actions should also be considered. Next is our section 1.3, section 3. So let's start this paragraph. Hearing this is Vulture said, "Speak up. What brings you here?" The cat said, "I bathe every day in the Gangas, take no flesh to eat, practice celibacy and observe Chandrayaan Vrats." He further added, "All the birds speak high of as you devoted to dharma and knowledge. Besides being a trustworthy fellow, since you are a since you are a veteran veteran in age and knowledge, I have to came to hear from you of right awareness. But you are such a righteous person that you are ready to kill me, the one who is your guest, while rightness of householders has been described thus: as trees do not deny shade and shelter, those those ones who come to cut them down, the householder should welcome even the forced visitings without letting them down. In the absence of material means, the guest should be greeted with courteous words. Since straw mat, floor and floor, floor, water, and courteous words are the four things easily available in the households to greet the guest visitings. Besides, the virtuous don't deny extending their compassion even to the virtueless, as the moon doesn't dim his lights over the house of an outcast in distress. Moreover, the guests returning ungreeted from your door exchange their sins for your virtues. Take it for sure. Okay, so students, our chapter from here is now ended. See you in the next part. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, guys.